Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Papal and this is Crusader Kings 3, and today we're here with the man of the hour, Prince Alva of Vasconia, and he has a plan. He has a plan of taking down Navarra, at least as far as the way of Saint Jacques is concerned, because we must take the land that indeed leads directly to Santiago, so that we can become the rightful and active protector of that pilgrimage way. It is very important to the self-understanding of course, Prince Alva. You know, we're looking at it from an angle where he never really had the authority, never really had the sort of respect given to him, I think, that he hoped he would earn one day, and this all ends in something that goes against the fortune of, on the right, I think it is called, or he is called King Osorio, I want to say Osorio II, there you go. And we're going to be acting against him today, and of course, you know, we're acting against a good Christian, indeed a Christian that is currently trying to fight off, or rather attack the Muslims to the south. And yet we're going to be doing it, because we are more concerned with writing our own story, with leaving a trace, with creating a legacy, than we are concerned with the issue and the question of Navarra, you know, my God, being a strong northern kingdom. At the end of the day, that is not all that important to us, because the only way that we know how to be a good protector is by ruling it directly and with absolute control. That is the way that we have ruled as, you know, the marshal of our father in the Imperial court, and that is the way we are ruling, of course, in the actual Duchy of Vasconia. I'm very, you know, excited to explore this angle, because we're looking at a situation where he finally gets a leg up. It could have horrendous consequences for everybody else, but he is doing something that isn't actually necessarily bad. He is spreading the influence of the empire as well, although he is doing it again for a bit of an egotistical reason. He wants to be in the legacy of his father, and that is of course that of the protector of Santiago. So we're going to attempt this today against the King of Navarra. We're going to punish him a bit if we succeed. If we fail, I mean, so be it. And I was thinking about it. I said to myself, you know what? I think it would be wise if we fabricated a claim on this county of Gipuzkoa. The reason for this, in my opinion, is that, again, we want total control. And what I would like to facilitate here is not just to take this duchy, but to take the counties. Again, it is the only way that we truly and genuinely know how to rule. We, you know, of course, yes, we don't really get involved directly here in the Italians' businesses, but I have to tell you, we're only doing this, or we're not getting involved because they aren't really acting against us, and they are far away from the lands that we love and where we grew up, where we spent most of our lives. That is Vasconia. On the other hand, this Duchy of Biscaya is not very far away at all. So let's get a claim, then we take the duchy and get the count as a new vassal. This count right here. We take the duchy, take the count, and then we'll actually go ahead and try to revoke all these titles from him. Whether it works, I can't tell you. Was there anything else that I wanted to bring up? Oh yeah, there is of course the question. I love how many actually picked that up. You know, I didn't really go deep into it. I looked at it and I said to myself, man, that is a devastating dream. I'm of course talking about the dream in which Alva, you know, fantasizes about being eaten and eating himself. It is a gruesome dream, and I think a dream that shows just how disturbed Prince Alva is, but it is also a dream that shows the worries, the fear, and quite possibly, at least that is the way that he perceives it, something supernatural. Is it, you know, the Horned Guard punishing him? Is it the Horned Guard actually acting against him and, you know, basically God showing him, the true Christian God showing him that the Horned Guard is an agent of chaos and destruction? I would like to leave this open for the moment. I believe that Prince Alva quite possibly shares, you know, his ideas, his worries, his fears, his dreams with, you know, his children, for example, so his fellow disciples, the fellow witches that are a part of our circle, all of these basically, right? So they might know. And I find this to be important, because when we take over as any of the children, I would love to be in a position where we can then work with the dream of Alva. I think Alva himself, I mean, he is disturbed by it, but I'm not sure whether he can interpret it. I would be open to any very strong, you know, if you want to leave a comment and tell me how you think Alva would personally react, then definitely let me know. But for the moment, I would like to leave it open at the very least. Now, Pope Gregorius, as far as he's concerned, I thought about this quite a bit as well, and we're very deceitful, we are very far away from the Pope, and we have the Emperor on our side. We are in a position where even if we were to be excommunicated, chances are that our friend Emperor Nuno here would indeed pardon us, and wouldn't hand us over to the church. So the way I see this is, we don't really need the hook. Mechanically speaking, I have to tell you, the hook doesn't really have much value, because the only thing that we can do, because, for example, requesting a claim, the hook just isn't enough, it doesn't bring us into the positives, the only thing that we can do is ask for money. And I think we're going to do this. We will basically tell Pope Gregorius, your reach doesn't go to Vasconia anyway, but I will let you off the hook if indeed you give me money. And there you go, it worked. I've considered your plight and decided to grant your request. May these funds help you spread the true faith in your lands. Thank you, my dear friend, Pope Gregorius VI, the grand supporter of the Prince of Vasconiaco. Ah, you love to see it. That is poetry indeed, that he had to pay us off. Now, that being said, we're going to, we are of course positive now, we are going to get some more troops. I actually would love some more Onagas primarily. Then we will, you know, just leave a couple of months, I think, let them go for the fabricate the claim to just proceed, and then we will declare our war here. I'm excited. I'm very excited, because if we succeed, this could indeed mean that we're looking at a future where basically almost all of our children are our heirs, and then we actually have some potential going there for ourselves when it comes to, you know, actually having a bit of an inheritance moment. The true moment that then leads us down. It could lead us to Poland. I love this. One of you actually commented, I really hope Tybalt will be the heir, because I really want to just spam historical facts about Poland. I'm open for this. Of course, I'm open for this for any other person as well. For example, Helados, for example, you know, West Asna and Brabant. We have so many amazing, amazing options, I think. So let's just, you know what, let's just kick it off here. I will declare war for this. Who are your allies, my friend? You have no allies whatsoever right now. I will declare the war for Biscaya. Barely costs me anything. And then I will invite only one person. Greece is, that is just very odd. I think Germany, I think also, indeed not a good choice to invite. But Brabant, I think, makes for a good choice. I would like to invite Brabant to this war. They're fairly close. They're not at war. They come with 2.3k troops, and you know what, with that, why don't we begin marching? I want to take them down, I want to be the conqueror, that is why, of course, I will be commanding these troops myself. The incompetence of the Navarrese, whether that is true or not, doesn't really matter. It's a propaganda campaign that Prince Alva is waging, isn't good enough for the way of Saint Jake. We need, or Saint Jacques, we need direct protection by the Empire, and I will be the shield and sword, and that is, of course, a terminology utilized by our father. We will be the shield and sword of Christianity and the Empire here at the way of Saint James. Very excited to do that. And she is joining. Didn't cost us all that much prestige. Let's get this done. Oh, neighboring ruler actually lost the war. Oh, he lost the war for the County of Burgos then, didn't he? Yeah, look at that. Ah, he already got embarrassed here. And I think that Leonga will also be embarrassed by the Muslims instead of taking it. I don't know why Brabant made it all the way over here. Maybe they visited St. James, honestly, or, well, Santiago. I think that is quite possible. Duchess Adele here is personally actually attending these fights. I'm very appreciative of this. Her heir, again, of course, married to Prince Asna. I'm very appreciative of this indeed. I think this is a very strong and a fairly regional alliance, and that is not always a guarantee. Now, they seem to have recruited more troops. They are going, I have to assume, for La Brie. I'm doubtful that they land in Bayona. As long as we can siege this before they finish this, we should be good to go. Now, Tybalt has had a child. No, actually, it's Carlos, together with Trude. Plasencia Carlose Boscarancia. She might be strong. It would be a grand outcome indeed. It would come from Trude right here. It is largely an alliance, I think, that we have there of convenience. We haven't really interacted with the German kings at all. I hoped it would not come to this, but I'm left with no other option. I must rescind your appointment as Spymaster of the Eromata Imperio Santua, effective immediately. So he slights us. We were the Spymaster. Duke Robot is now the new Spymaster. And it makes me think. Do you think he pushed us out because he wanted to? Or did he do it because Duke Robot has something on him? Emperor Nuno. What secrets do you hold? I mean, Duke Robot is definitely... You know what? I'm going to highlight this guy. If I find the time, I have to assume that we interpret this in a way, unless proven otherwise, where Duke Robot went and basically blackmailed Emperor Nuno into giving him a spot. How dare he? Let's see whether he offers us another council spot before long. Otherwise, we may have to act against him. But I assume that that is not the case currently, at least. Right, they started sieging here. This will take 8 months. We will be done in 35 days. We will destroy their troops at La Brie. I think that will be a wonderful, wonderful battle. Let's get this done. You know, it's always nice to see the first battle of a character. The first serious battle anyway. And oh my god, you started fleeing far too late, my friend. You are done and dusted. Ooh, and it's the king. Please, I beg you, let me imprison the king here. It would be true poetry. We didn't get the king. My acquaintance Said died, huh? Said the child killer? Huh. Garcia here was cloven in half by Malik Said, the child killer, by a mighty axe. My god. It was a 0-year-old child. And whose child was this? Nobody knows. Okay. That is, I'm happy that I'm not... I mean, no wonder that the former slaves all flee up north, giving us a bit of a visit there, because I wouldn't want to stay down there with this guy either. Pilgrim settlers. Recently, a number of towns in Marzana have acquired a reputation for attracting pilgrims traveling the way of St. Jacques to Santiago. That is, a number of these pilgrims decide to settle in Marzana after they are done with the pilgrimage. Perhaps they find the area's scenery and culture mesmerizing, or perhaps they want to escape their unfortunate pasts back home, or perhaps they believe the area can offer them better economic opportunities. Frankly, I think all of these could actually be true, because we are in a pretty good spot when it comes to the economy. We have built up La Pordie. I mean, think about it, we are now at 20 development. It is all quite impressive what has happened in this region. It is a core part, I think, of the wealth of Aquitaine. So yeah, welcome indeed. It's a good sign as well. It's, I think, a very positive symbol here that we are protecting the way of St. Jacques, and the people seem to be really believing that. After all, Prince Alva is now seeing the settler actually settle in his lands. Either way, this means a lot of talented people have moved here. Their contributions to the local economy and society have not gone unnoticed. Man, I actually am so... I'm so glad by how decent, and I don't mean good, because I don't think he's a good man per se, but by how decent his rule genuinely has turned out. And you know what, I'm just gonna give ourselves a second here to recover some... Oh no, our supply is actually full. But yeah, I'm so glad how decent his rule actually turned out. This could have been a deeply, deeply depressing character, and instead he's doing something that isn't morally right necessarily. It's definitely grey, if not black, right? But we're looking at somebody that is somehow making things work. Now, Mayor Manrique's friendship, while his numerous attempts to curry my favor have not gone unnoticed, I cannot feel but irritated by Mayor Manrique's sudden interest in me, and I cannot shake the feeling that the man's intentions are not pure. I mean, I'm not negative towards him, and I think for that reason he is a pilgrim. He's a tough soldier, he knows how to hunt. Honestly, he does have a certain charm. I think I will give him the benefit of the doubt here. I like that he wants to be our friend despite not actually liking us. Quite a bit of commitment there. And oh my god, we just took a massive hit in stress. We are level 2 all of a sudden. We got 150 stress. Martin has died under mysterious circumstances. And his son, Philippe, is also dead, and now his 2 grandchildren, Martin and Galindo, have taken over. Wait a minute, if these 2 are... Oh, right, okay. So he has 2 grandchildren that both inherited something, but the point is that the electoral rights were with Auvergne and Provence, and now the Provence is gone because he holds both of it. We actually were given the right to vote as well. I am very curious who actually killed him. I am very curious who did this. I mean, he was not a beloved man. We loved him, of course. He was our best friend. That is why we took 150 stress, but somebody murdered our brother. You gotta ask what it is. What do we have here? I sat brooding on my throne, my heart heavy with memory, mulling over things I did years and years ago. Was I really good enough? Would not another duke have been more suited? Have I ever truly done the right thing? My head throbs. Why would God task me with ruling if he knew it would make me this miserable? You know, the interesting thing about this is, I like both of these. I think he would totally break under the stress, and I think he will break, okay? I'm going to give ourselves a bit of a timeline here. I cannot make mistakes. I am a duke. I must see the current project through, and this could mean, quite frankly, that we die, because a severe health penalty is no joke. But as we are campaigning, as we currently have a purpose that we are good at, which is campaigning and winning here, I will say I cannot make a mistake. I am a duke. And once we go home, if we're still distressed, I will start doing, well, all of these, right? So, indeed, we will come close to the stress level 3 here. If anything else happens during this war, it may be quite difficult. In the meantime, I will obviously cast our vote here for Gonzalo. I don't see any reason to go against the will of the Emperor himself. I think we can indeed just support him there. Well, they landed again. They are sieging. What is this? I've prowled through documents, both ancient and of less certain provenance. I finally have enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of the county of Gipuzkoa. Right, I will claim it. And that actually, we're still going to be bankrupt here, huh? That is very negative. Do I have a... Can I sell anybody? I hope that at the very least this will give me enough money that I don't... Because the trouble, of course, is that we get worse at fighting once we go bankrupt, right? Oh. I have heard, oh, I love this. This fits so perfectly. Our arch nemesis approaches us now. I have heard some disturbing news from King Osorio about your misdeeds. You may call yourself a Catholic, but your actions prove that you do not truly follow the path of God, as I cannot permit your wicked behavior to hide behind the mask of Catholic righteousness. I have no choice but to excommunicate you from the faith. May God have mercy on your soul. Signed, Pope Gregorius of the Aita Santuan Luraldea. Sure, buddy. So, we are now in a situation where the local population clearly agrees that we are a decent ruler. They are settling the, the pilgrims, they are protected and such, but the Church and Navarra, they disagree. Be that because, for example, the Pope doesn't want the influence of the Empire to spread here. Be that because he is our personal rival. I mean, of course he is. He doesn't want our fingers all over the way of Saint Jacques. It's a very, very interesting situation, because the locals here clearly feel differently about this compared to the public church. And you know who also feels differently about it? Emperor Nuno. I told you at the start of the episode that I thought, after he already forgave us being a witch, Emperor Nuno would have our back. And Emperor Nuno did have our back. He will give us a pardon. A well-deserved one, if you ask me. Ooh, and I got an unpressed claim on the County of Lombardia. Oh, that is a claim. That's a nice claim. Anyway, your plea is just, and I find myself swayed by arguments. I hereby pardon you of any and all current crimes in the eyes of the Eremita Imperio Santua in perpetuity. You shall remain a free man. It has to be said, we come from a situation where it was unclear whether the Emperor was positive or negative towards us, where things were incredibly, incredibly uncertain. Now Emperor Nuno says, as long as you don't slight me, know that you are safe in these lands. And indeed, we are safe. Indeed. We are protected by our own might, of course, but also by the Emperor himself. I think I don't want to oppose him directly. I mean, I don't want this siege, don't get me wrong here. But we are a number of months ahead. How long are your siege phases? Oh, they are way longer. Are they, though? No, okay, it's 18 days for both now. Let's hope that we finish first and then actually can walk towards him. I need the money before I face him, if we possibly can. Okay, we have won the siege, we are positive, and we did take a prisoner. This prisoner is unrelated to him in reality. Oh, we did imprison his heir. Gimeno Christinier Vasconia Isurum. I could torture him. He gives us a... He actually doesn't give us... Oh, right, because he's not the King of Navarra, so he doesn't give us any war score. Would he torture a man? I mean, he wants to basically antagonize the Duke as is, right? Duke Suero must fear us. That is the whole idea. We have Countess Plasencia. Oh no, that is in the prison of Zamora. Right, I see how it is. I could execute him. It's Dynastic Kinslayer. Yeah, why would I do that? I'm not gonna... I would rather, I think, have the money here. I think I'm going to ransom him. Then again, I would love to keep him even after this war as a bit of a pressure item against Duke Suero. You know what? I think that's a good choice. We're just going to keep him around. Let's challenge the King of Navarra here. We will definitely come in before he finishes, and there you go. He is leaving the siege, which is excellent for us. I will just stay right here so that our supply can replenish. Can we capture him there? Are these mountains? These are mountains. You know what? Let's do it. I don't think his mountains will protect him here. He doesn't really have the units. The Caballeros are suffering badly. And the Caballeros are always the strongest force, of course, of the Lords of Hispania. So this was quite the nice choice. Let's destroy them. Oh, I like this. It actually panned out. I'm very, very happy about this. And we did get a new lifestyle perk. I do think we have a bit of an obsession with our body. A bit of an obsession, I think, with, trying to cleanse ourselves. If we can't do it spiritually, then at least we would like to do it on a literal physical level. I think I would like to wash my hands. I think that is not a terrible idea for this character. The war is over. We actually imprisoned his wife, right? I gotta ask you, does she give us war score? She does not. So, okay, before we do anything else, I will sell his wife back to him. Oh, seriously? What about now? I can't ask for money for the... alright, well, let's just end the war then. It's not too bad here. We can finish the war, and then I would like to take a look at you. We have your son, my friend. And you have a title that I think I deserve. Oh, he is actually willing to give it to me, huh? I am worried. So I kind of was hoping that he would rebel against us. Because if we keep revoking things that we don't have a claim on, and we are deceitful, again, it's not about claim or not. If we fabricated a claim, it wouldn't be fair either, right? But if we revoke this, there's a chance, since we get tyranny, that other vassals will also rebel. I would like to antagonize you, actually. Can I somehow antagonize you? If I were to execute him, I mean, surely, if I were to torture him, family members lose 30 opinion here. Would he do this? We are brave, deceitful. To lie and deceive is in Alva's nature. I don't think the cruelty is in Alva's nature. Alright, you know what? I will revoke this territory from you. And then we will see where we go with that, whether many people will rebel or not. Let's dissolve this very quickly. But petition our liege here, the spice trader. The latest gossip around town has reached my ears. A famous peddler of spices has arrived in the area. Not only does he sell spices individually, but he also creates unique blends of those spices. There's one in particular, known as the 5 Spices blend, which is said to be peerless among the spice blends of the world. Though it might be more expensive than usual spices, perhaps I should consider buying this blend for my cooks to use before this peddler leaves town. We may do this, but currently, you need to consider the following. The war's over. I have taken Irun. I will actually go ahead and take a quick break here, by which I mean I will indulge in drinking. Another cup and my shoulders relax a bit more. This is how I am meant to spend my times. To be sober is to suffer. Yeah, I think a bit of a, a bit calming down, I guess, after we had this campaign is a good idea. Now, Suero, are you willing to give me these lands? He hates me already. He's not my rival yet. 60% he might accept. I want to push his buttons. Count Suero, I want to push your buttons. If he rebels, so be it. I think we could act against him here. He did not rebel. He did become my rival, though. I could challenge him to a fight. Oh, that would be kind of funny. I would like to revoke the very last title from you. Man, people will be angry at me, especially the Italians, of course, but I would like to do this for the purpose of, I am the protector of the Way of Santiago, am I not? Yeah, we're going to be over the main limit, if indeed he accepts the revoking here. Wow, he actually accepted it, and him accepting it, since he was our rival, actually got rid of stress. Look at that, we're down to level 1 of stress. And with that, with a lot of tyranny, but I think the tyranny is actually very fitting, Prince Alva Felipe holds the entirety of the Duchy of Vizcaya, and even further down in Santillana, actually, himself. And what we're going to be doing now, and this is very vital on a meta level, I should say, we are going to destroy the title of Vizcaya, because what happens now is that both Ordonio, Asna, Oria, and Tybalt actually inherit, and I'm almost tempted, quite frankly. I'm tempted to disinherit her. I'm tempted to disinherit her largely because she is not a witch. Ah, no, you know what? I'm thinking this through. Obviously, Prince Alva is closer to his children that are witches. But no matter how I look at it, his father and his brother have never mistreated him for being a witch, and he doesn't really want to act against anybody that isn't a witch, although she is the friend of Pope Gregorius's friend. So in that angle, I know this number says something totally different because she's our child, and then we have this dynasty legacy, we're distinguished, or close bonds. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, I'm not my own house head. I can't even disinherit her unless we were to break with the house, and we will not be doing that. So she will get that title even if she is not a witch. Now, what does this mean? This means we could become Greece, we could become, Brabant, we could become Croatia, and we could become Poland. All of these are now eligible for inheritance. The only one that isn't is actually Carlos, who is married to Germany, which, for better or worse, I don't think even has a very strong, claim to Germany to begin with. It would be basically the leftover, and fascinatingly enough, it would literally be the 5th. Remember, Boscarantia, the House of Prince Vea that he founded, is basically the 5th son, right? And the reason here was that he was the 5th son that got very little. He only got Comminges, and it brought him into a bit of an awkward position. But yeah, I'm very interested in this. Now we can actually share all of these titles, of course, between our children and have a chance to inherit it via inherit chance. So, with that being said, is there anything here that I need to know? We could hire a court physician. Estefania can marry my granddaughter, daughter of Asna and Blanche. Right. She's not the firstborn, but we are under equal laws. Well, she is technically, she is literally the firstborn, but she would also inherit on equal grounds. I think we will be looking. Markwards. None of these have claim to any sort of fame. Doesn't really interest me. I love Hatto, but he is 48 years old. Maybe a bit of a poor marriage right there. Yeah, I would love a marriage with somebody, actually, that can allow us, that permits us to go for a pretty meaningful claim here, right? Do we have anybody that is related maybe to the Lotharingians? Let me take a look here. Oh my god, there are so many claimants for Lorraine. I mean, that is a magnitude of folks. But all of them, it appears, are already married. At least the men are. And under those circumstances, we can't really get anything going. Ooh. He is the Lord of Trier. If I were to marry you matrilineally, would you accept it? You would not, of course, because he actually wants to continue his line. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, give me a moment. I will take a look at who we can maybe marry with Estefania. You know what? I think I found a fairly obvious candidate, and that is King Garcia Sabaye of Galicia's son, Infante Garcia here. It's a good marriage, and it makes us yet again effectively the protector of Santiago, unless... Wait a minute, just check in here, right? Yeah, he's unwilling. He's even unwilling normally. Why is that? I have too many existing alliances is marrying down, right? Yeah, and he doesn't enjoy me because, well, you know, I'm excommunicated. No, we're going to indeed get the marriage with the folks over here with Infante Garcia, because he is the heir for the kingdom and, of course, the king of Galicia de jure, the lord of Santiago. I think this is very much in character when it comes to marriages. We don't even need to do it matrilineally. I don't really care, I have to tell you. Yes, they are related, but much like our father, we are strengthening the bond with Santiago itself, and that is the goal. No matter how we look at it from Alva's character right now. We need to save up some money so that I can then go ahead and actually go into a brothel to relax a bit. What is this? My daughter-in-law, Duchess Constantia, has been showing the signs of pregnancy for some time now, and everyone thought that her husband, Duke Tybalt, is the father of the child. Now it has become clear that the real father-to-be is none other than Count Dobroslav. You are kidding me, right? Constantia. What a scandal. Are these our son's children? I think Gielen is, just hair-wise. That is very Iberian and Aquitanian hair, but... Munio? Who knows? Geometric problems. I'm visiting a local library where several scholars are hard at work, writing and scribbling on parchment. I notice one is sitting on the ground in the courtyard outside, using a stick to sketch various shapes and numbers in the dirt. Curious, I stroll over and ask him what he's doing. My lord, don't interrupt me, please, he says as he scratches his beard. I'm doing important calculations here. I've been stuck trying to figure out the geometric problem for days to no avail. None of my formulas work. No wonder my mentors couldn't figure it out either. How rude. I am Prince Alva. Don't be so casual with me, and good luck on your task. It doesn't look easy. Mathematics. Before we actually had the formalized version of writing it down, or the formalized way of writing it down, very, very difficult topics, very hands-on topics as well. I think Alva is good. I don't think he's gonna start a fight with a random, fella there. I don't think there's a reason for that. Landslide in Labrie. A landslide has been reported in Labrie, burying several villages and killing many. I'll need to act quickly if I'm to help the people there. It's too bad, or let's try to help the victims as much as we can. We want to be a good ruler. What else do you want me to tell you, right? This is... Come on. This option decreases how long the county modifier in question will last compared to the default option, right? I will definitely aid them. I am a hands-on ruler. And this is a part of this. Look at that, a family member is under attack. Guillaume Jourdain of Romagna. Just an internal rebellion. Yeah, Romagna doesn't seem to be very peaceful, you know? It's still very agitated. And look at that. Yasuero lost indeed all of these titles. Man, Navarra looks so sad now. A literal rump state. Only ruling half of the actual Navarra. It has to be rough, King Osorio. It has to be rough indeed. But there's nothing I could do, dude. I needed the way of Santiago, and quite frankly, I'm thinking about this. I have to tell you, roleplay-wise, we would want to go further. Prince Alva, come on. If he can secure as much as he can, you know, until he reaches Galicia, which is then, of course, the effective kingdom that should rule Santiago itself, unless we were the kings of Galicia. If we can reach further to the west, if we can have more of this exact pathway here under our control, it would be all the better. You know it, I know it, I think everybody knows it. Your steward, or my steward, Countess Constance, looks Tensendur up and down, nodding approvingly. It is a mighty stallion you have here, my duke. If you would allow me to take him for a ride, I would be very grateful. I don't think... I think we view that horse as something that only we could tame and that only we can ride. We don't like her either. Nope, get off my horse, okay? Get out of here. Why do you hate me so? Excommunicated tyrant? Right, because they're vassals of mine. That is why they hate me. Yeah, we should be a bit cautious, maybe. Nobody here trying to kill me, yeah? Everybody doing okay? Nobody trying to, you know, heat the fires of rebellion? I'm gonna actually have you focus on domestic affairs. Try to tell them that life is good under me, okay? And actually, wow, we had the mental break. And remember how I said I want to see whether this leads to further negative events? Turns out Pope Gregorius is giving us a positive event here. Minus 14 stress. The twists and turns of fate have not always been to my advantage. God knows that I was cursed the day I met Pope Gregorius. Today, however, that curse has been lifted. Fate has smiled upon me and brought that beguiling child to his grave. Not 1 day too soon. Died of old age. There's two things that I would like to investigate here. How long did that rivalry actually last? Because I'm pretty sure it started like 1040, right? 1046. Almost 40 years that we hated that man. And now he's gone. Pope Benedictus IV is now in his stead, and... Ooh. Oh, right. I could gift him the 5 special blend, and he would like me more. Maybe I could stop being excommunicated here. That's kind of interesting. Opinion seems to be worth exactly what it is, so minus 45 opinion becomes a minus 45 here. I need an increase of 25, and then I could technically ask him to repent. But honestly, Prince Alva is the first character where I agree with others when it comes to could he potentially turn away from Catholicism. Because he hated the Pope, he hated him for 40 damn years. He doesn't really feel welcome in Christian society. He feels welcomed by the Empire because Emperor Nuno is a great lord. I don't think we are going to beg the church to return unless there was pressure. And the Emperor took that pressure away when he gave us the right to rule, even as an excommunicated fella. I don't think I will do this. You know what? Instead of begging the Pope for forgiveness, I'll visit a brothel. Stress coping. Wanton ways. I lay in a tangle of limbs. A woman straddling me as release and relief shudders through me. My mind is calmer than it has been in weeks. But still, my pulse races. Magnificent. Minus 91 stress. That was, of course, very impactful. And I leave you in this episode with a very relaxed and I think a man that has gone through a test, through a very difficult time when his best friend died. And by the way, next episode, we may investigate this. I leave you with a man that underwent this in this episode, but comes out even better than before. Now with a bunch of territories that will indeed be going to our children. I am very much looking forward to that. For the moment, I will leave you here and I will see you later, alligator.